This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Place to Be Nation, welcome back to another episode of From the Vault, episode number 3 of this podcast, which goes through the various Vault YouTube channels that the WWE has to offer, the WWE Vault, NXT, and of course the newly launched WCW. We have had 2 excellent episodes so far, the first one covering the debut Nitro, the day after the WCW Vault started, as well as a WrestleMania special by the Thunder from Down Under, Dave Hall, on episode number 2, and this one is unfortunately timely. This past Sunday, as we record, the 11th of May, the wrestling world lost an absolute legend of the game when Sabu unfortunately passed away at the age of 60. It's safe to say that I think everyone has possibly has had a bit of Sabu in their life over the time. The man had an extraordinary career from Japan, of course, an ECW original, and even popping up in the WWE and TNA as well, and bringing his own unique brand of chaos with him along the way. His style might not have been for everybody, but he's one of these guys that chances are there will be a Sabu match in his repertoire that you will have enjoyed, be it one of his hardcore battles with Mick Foley, the all-out brawls he had, the hatred between he and Taz during that 18-month feud leading up to Barely Legal and Beyond. If you have the stomach for it, maybe Born to Be Wired with Terry Funk, the barbed wire match they had in '97 over the ECW World Championship. But Sabu will be greatly missed. It was a shock to me, and I'm sure a shock to everyone when they heard the news. Obviously, just a couple of weeks ago had his retirement match in Vegas for GCW WrestleMania weekend. So yes, this is a tribute episode to Sabu. Thanks to the WWE Vault. Have put up a playlist just today of his greatest moments. So we'll be looking at that. The Human Highlight Reel, the Best of Sabu, is the playlist that we will be taking a look at today. The playlist link will be in the write up for this podcast, and if you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the description below as well. So yeah, this playlist covers a lot. A few matches. There's 5 matches in it. There's also the story of Taz versus Sabu at Barely Legal, and there is a Sabu's Greatest Moments top 10 from just last September. We won't be taking them in, but there is 5 matches. The first one that we're going to watch is from October 1993. So I've done my pre-research. This is October the 18th, 1993. It is a dark match from Monday Night Raw, where he takes on the future Scotty 2 Hottie, Scott Taylor. So if you want to fire that one up, Sabu had this sort of couple of days, had 3 dark matches, trial matches with the WWF. He had just come back stateside after his initial run with FMW over in Japan. He had this match with Scott Taylor, and again a dark match, another one on the 20th, where he again takes on Scott Taylor. In between, there is a dark match on Wrestling Challenge, which might be a new holy grail. It's up there with the Owen Hart Kurt Angle. He takes on Owen Hart just before Wrestling Challenge, a Wrestling Challenge taping. Now that's one that, if that can come out from the Vault somewhere, that's a match certainly to look out for. that's a match of styles that might clash, but also might just merge together perfectly well. So we're going to look at the first one. It's Sabu versus Scott Taylor from the 18th before Monday Night Raw. So we'll start that one in 3, 2, 1, play. So we're on blank, and here we go. So we've got the timestamp. It is 7:25 at night as we're watching this. Scott Taylor's just entering the ring. Now this one is from the Mid-Hudson Civic Centre in Poughkeepsie, New York, where they would a lot of the late 93 tapings had for Monday Night Raw. Fink is just about to introduce the guys.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. In the ring from Portland, Maine, weighing 222 pounds, Scott Taylor.
Scott Taylor, his future Scotty too,
and his opponent from Bombay, India, weighing 217 pounds, Sabu.
Sabu running to the ring there, almost taking out Fink, almost going head first right out the other side of the ring. So, 1993 WWF and Sabu. I don't know if they're necessarily ready for Sabu here. He might just be a bit too early for that. He does obviously come back in 1997 as part of the ECW Invasion angle, and of course a decade later with the reboot of the ECW. Where we get to have he has a great match with John Cena. There's talk about clash of styles. So at this point, I did say that Sabu has just come back stateside after his initial run in FMW. He debuted for ECW on the 1st of this month. So this is the 18th of October. On the 1st of the month, he defeats the Tasmaniac, obviously future hated rival as well. On the first NWA Bloodfest, night 1. Night 2, he defeats Shane Douglas to become ECW Heavyweight Champion. And then on the 13th, just a week before this, or just 5 days before this, he becomes the Television Champion. So at this point in time, having a dark match on Raw as the ECW Heavyweight and ECW Television Champion, double champion, within the first 2 weeks of the company. He would go on to lose the title a couple of weeks later. Holiday Hell 93 loses it back to Terry Funk. So we go to the springboard leg drop there. I don't know if these necessarily the people in the front row look. I don't know if they look disinterested or just in awe of this man. It's certainly not what you're being used to. If I look at what else happened, this is before the 36th episode. There you go. And a big spin kick there as well. Again, not used to seeing this. So the 36th episode of Monday Night Raw, we did have so Sabu was first. This match was the first one out. Again, you've just seen a springboard over the top rope. Again, not necessarily used to seeing it. What else happened in this show? Mr. Perfect and Tatanka beat the Quebecers by DQ in a tag title match, dark match. Razor Ramon defeated IRS by count out. Good save by Sabu. We're going to get an Asahi here. Yes, we are. There you go, an Asahi. Oh, and knees first, right into the barricade. Asahi Moonsault 1993 WWF. There you go. Yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore, so we're not in Poughkeepsie anymore. So Razor Ramon defeated IRS by count out in a dark match for the IC title. ECW theme here. Steiner Brothers defeated PJ Walker, the future Just Incredible, and Tony DeVito, future Baldy. Scott Taylor's back out. Double duty in this one. IRS defeated Scott Taylor as he's starting to get the upper hand on the man from Bombay, India. Such a unique look as well at this time. Obviously kept that look through his whole career. Big drop kick there by Scotty. Tatanka was back here. He defeated Iron Mike Sharp, and Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Dennis Diamond in the main event. So yeah, it's what you saw in this episode of Raw. The dark matches are better than what you saw in the episode of Raw. My goodness, what was that? It's almost like so it's a springboard leg drop, but just into the back. Innovative manoeuvre by Scotty. He must have enjoyed working with Sabu. It must have been a different experience for him. Crossed on the top rope here. obviously the Frankenstein or the Hurricane ran off the top. My knees prayed for his I was praying for Scotty's knee, should I say then. So the Hurricane ran off the top. Obviously the Steiners are now there. Frankensteiner. Maybe that's what killed him. Stealing their gimmick. Not the cleanest execution of some of the moves, but that's what Sabu was all about there. As we get the moonsault off the top, the springboard moonsault off the top. So yes, very different to what you would see normally in the WWF at this time. This would be his last. This would be his last sort of run in the WWF until that 1997 run. He wouldn't appear back after this run. He would have one match at a WCW house show later on in the year, and then he would have his run with WCW short run with WCW in 1995, on and off with ECW over the piece as well, as that video comes to an end. That would be his last. That would be his last, or this run would be his last match until a double count out with Flash Funk again. Very ECW heavy there. Flash Funk in the 23rd of June 1997 during the ECW Invasion angle. A double count out with Flash Funk. Fittingly at Cobo Hall in Detroit, obviously where his uncle, the original Sheik, would have a lot of success as a promoter. So we'll move on to the next match in the playlist, which comes a few years after this one, deep now into his ECW run. This one is from Heatwave 1996. It is a tag team title match between the Eliminators and Sabu, obviously, and he's teaming up with Mikey Whipwreck. The first, I'll let you load this up. The first thing that you will see is the Eliminators in the ring, and Mikey Whipwreck, having just been beaten down. They have just beaten the ever-loving piss out of Mikey Whipwreck and the giant Paul Lauria, who were having a match prior to this. The Eliminators are in the ring. They're talking down Mikey, and they're about to lay down a challenge for Mikey and his good friend Sabu to have a match for the ECW tag team titles. We will just get into that because Perry Saturn, we're going to start with Perry Saturn having the mic in his hand. So let's just give this a go in 3, 2, 1, play. This is for a 4-way.
We're the best tag team in the world. We won these belts, and we're not going to lose them.
So what Saturn's talking about is a 4-way match that was going to happen, a challenge that the Gangsters had put down at the start of the show, for a 4-way elimination match, which would eventually take place at the Doctor Is In. So the Gangsters against the Bruise Brothers, the Eliminators, and the Samoan Gangster Party. Now that would happen at some point in the future, in early August.
Well, there's a challenge for Mikey and Sabu, and a challenge for the title belts. The Eliminators are fighting champions. There's Sabu.
So there's Sabu there. So as Joey mentions, the story here, the tail end of 95, start 96, Sabu and Mikey had a bit of a feud. It's developed into a respect because Mikey obviously doesn't quit. So here we go, Mikey and Sabu taking on the Eliminators for the World Tag Team Championship of Extreme Championship Wrestling. Mikey always in a perpetual state of, I've just been beaten the hell up. So Sabu starting with Perry Saturn here. And it looks as if we're going to be having standard tag rules, at least to begin with. And for anyone listening who may not have seen, or whose only exposure to Perry Saturn was his WWF run in ECW and in WCW, Perry Saturn was a different beast, man. He was on a different level. We're having some wrestling on the go here. We got a leg vine from Sabu here. Yeah, I mean, Perry Saturn not one for giving up, especially at this time. A simple leg vine of all things. He tries to get the clothesline. It was a bit awkward. Again, that was just the thing with Sabu. It just looked a bit awkward. But that was the beauty of the man. You just didn't know what was going to happen. I did see something over the weekend as well that it might have been intentional. There was the occasional intentional botch in there just to heighten, to just add to the unpredictability that was watching Sabu. Big super kick there. Or thrust kick as it would be at the time. A sweet chin music as it would be at this time in July of 1996. So other things that happened on this show, we would have, as we said, Mikey Whipwreck defeated Paul Laurier just before this. The Gangsters and the Samoan Gangster Party had a match to open things up, and after that, big splash by Saturn. After that was when the Gangsters had the challenge. We've got the Dudleys, Big Dick and Bubba Ray Dudley with Chubby Dudley, DW Dances with Dudley and Sign Guy Dudley defeated the FBI, JT Smith and Little Guido with Big Sal Baloma and Big Guido. So that's a lot of beef in and around that ring there. Tarzan Goto actually took on and defeated Axel Rotten. We have Shane Douglas defeated reigning World Television Champion Chris Jericho, Pitbull 2 and 2 Cold Scorpio in that well-known 40-minute elimination match that took up one whole episode of Hardcore TV. John Cronus is in there. I just noticed John Cronus in there. Luis Piccoli defeated El Puerto Ricano before he was then defeated by Double Duty Sabu. And then there was a Rage in the Cage 6-man tag. Terry Gordy, the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer defeated Brian Lee, Raven and Stevie Richards. As Mikey tries to get the pin there, but it was a 2 count. Crowd firmly behind Mikey Whipwreck. Mikey Whipwreck, favourite of Jerry Smith of this parish. Can hear her and big double arm drag there. Hear her and all of her podcasts, including Extreme 3-Way Dance, which they would have covered on the North-South Connection podcast feed. Extreme 3-Way Dance originally. Jenny, JT, and Jay Arsenio D'Amato. Jad had left the podcast, replaced by Matt Souza, ably replaced by Matt Souza. So they go through ECW from its heyday all the way through to its untimely demise. Crowd are really into this one, so they will have covered this at some point. Very strange to see, working of the arm, limb work in an ECW ring. An ECW ring which, for those watching along with us, heavily taped. Big, excellent double team bulldog there. It was almost like a whisper in the wind. Not a whisper in the wind. Poetry in motion style where Sabu jumps off Mikey's back and it gets the bulldog on Cronus. Big brain buster though by Saturn. Sabu desperate to try and get in, but he's taken out by Saturn there. As Hat Guy is not happy about something. Oh, another thingy, another big thrust kick. This is what Mikey Whipwreck was really good at, selling an absolute. I mean, Mikey was really good at selling that he was almost at he was at death's door. But takes a kicking and keeps on ticking. What's happening here? Oh, a big crossbody suplex. Was it a knee? When they wanted to be, I mean, that was no finesse there from Cronus. When they wanted to be, it was just zero finesse from the Eliminators. They're just chucking Mikey around for the fun of it. The referee throwing a chair out. This is the land of extreme, sir. And look at the fans and the air conditioning in the background there. They're working overtime, but my goodness, that in mid-July, that ECW arena must have been like an absolute furnace. There is a man at the back fanning himself with whatever is not nailed down. Big German. So we've not had a lot of Sabu in this match so far. It's all been about Mikey. But I feel that there's something brewing here. The homicidal, suicidal, genocidal man from Bombay, Michigan he's getting a bit hot under the collar if he was wearing a t-shirt. Pick the chair up again. Something's coming. Sabu's telling Mikey to block, throw him down. Yes, here you go. Listening to his good friend there. Oh, and an awkward looking Hurricane Rana, which could have broken many necks there. But he gets the hot tag, and here he comes, chair in hand. Now you're talking. Is there anything? I always loved the way that Sabu, instead, like people swung chairs, Sabu threw them. Oh dear, that was almost a triple jump. That just went horribly wrong. But here comes Mikey to the rescue. Oh, Saturn was thinking of swinging it there. Oh! What? Mikey's just all over the place here. Big drop kick to the midsection there. Oh, this is now descended into chaos. Mikey flips over the top rope with straight into a Hurricane Rana. Obviously watching thing, he took notes from Ray and Psychosis when they were in the company. Hurricane Rana off the top there from Sabu. We've not had a good old Joey Styles. Oh my god! Quite yet. Hopefully it's going to come. Oh, big power bomb. Dr. Bomb there, called by Joey Styles correctly. There's now chairs getting thrown everywhere. Cronus is just taking one right to the forehead. That guy is still into this. Oh, gee, that was... We're calling that it was a sunset flip, but we'll call it an Arabian power bomb. Just because it didn't look the prettiest, but landing on concrete, I can see why Saturn maybe wanted to protect himself there. Landing back first on concrete, not always the best thing to do. Just want to point out that Mikey and Cronus are in the ring, but Sabu and Perry Saturn are still the legal men. Just for Logan Crosland. Oh, Logan Crosland, ref watch there. Sabu takes a nasty fall into the the table on the outside. We're going to go for a total elimination. They could cut Mikey in half here with a total elimination. Oh my God, Cronus just got him right in the kisser. I will ignore the fact that they pinned the non-legal man there, because total elimination is a disgusting tag team finisher, and they almost took Mikey's head off. So that was a hell of a finish. Those last 4 or 5 minutes or so were just chaos. As soon as Sabu gets tagged back in, that was just absolute chaos there. As that one comes to a close, and I'm told to subscribe to the WWE Vault. I have subscribed to the WWE Vault, and you should all too, because the stuff that they're coming out with is just unbelievable. And if you're listening to this, we're on YouTube, and it is your first time here, subscribe to us as well, because you do get the whole back catalogue of the Place to Be Wrestling Network's archive, all the way back from 2011, 14 and almost 14 and a half years strong here, originating from the Place to Be podcast, 651 episodes thereof. So you subscribe to us over on YouTube if that's where you're listening to, and if it's not, find us at PTB Wrestling on YouTube. Find us and subscribe to us. So if you're watching along with the playlist, the next one is the story of Taz versus Sabu at Belly Legal 1997, the Vault sort of documentary on that. We are going to skip that one just now, and we're going to move on to Carlito Presents Brawl with Sabu in Puerto Rico. So that's going to take in some World Wrestling Council there from Puerto Rico.
Hey guys, check out this match from 2003, Carlito versus Sabu in WWC. WWC is a promotion in Puerto Rico where Carlito first started his career. And don't adjust your eyes. He's bald in this one. Check it out.
So 2003 we're now in, as Carlito ably said, a very, very young Carlito here. So yes, if 7 months ago, or when this one started, did you have WWC footage on WWC footage on a WWE run YouTube channel on the bingo card? If you did, I'm just going to tell you now, you're probably lying. So the match starts off here now. Sabu and Carly Colon, as he is here, had a few battles during his time, or his early 2003 run, Sabu's, I should say, in Puerto Rico. So I can't quite pinpoint the date, although I believe it will be some point within May, anywhere between March and May. So Carly Colon doesn't come out with the belt, so it's not going to be their first one. Sabu defeated Carlito on the 15th of March 2003 to win the Universal the WWC Universal title, and he holds it all the way through to the end of May, to the 31st of May. So happening in this time frame, as far as Cage Match will tell me, and a big chair shot to kick us off right in the forehead. I mean, that's a nasty one. I have watched some WWC in my time from the mid 80s through the Crock and Roll Peacock transition time, But it used to be on the wrestling channel here in the UK in the mid 2000s. 2004 I think that started, and they would every week have WWC on it, so I have watched some of it in my time. Not for a long time. One thing I did know, this arena it doesn't matter how many people's in this arena, it always looks empty because it is huge. But it's huge and it's got lots of empty space where people can't go. Strangely enough, so here we go. Oh, Carlito sees that, reads that one and face first onto the chair. It must be. I know WWC has had its fair share of bloody brawls over the time. Oh, that wasn't a nice one there. But I've never really thought of Carlito as a hardcore match legend. So this might be a bit of a clash of styles. But we'll see what happens. So at this point in time, Carlito's only 24. Born February 21st, 1979. So he's only 24. If my maths is correct, anyway, he's only 24 at this time. In with an absolute legend, even at this time, Sabu. Fresh off some runs with an initial run with early TNA. XPW's obviously had his run in as well. XPW not long for this world at this time either. As far as I know, it might actually already be closed at this time. This is what really drew me to the stuff like this. Is what drew me to the WWE Vault originally. Just like they have tapes and tapes of matches like this. Matches you never thought would have happened. Matches they own from companies that they're sitting on an absolute goldmine. For a lot of these. So Cal is just about to big dive to the outside through the table. That table absolutely just disintegrated there on impact. And the referee not particularly bothered about the safety, the condition of either of these men. Sabu hasn't moved since he's gone through the table. Carlito could be losing a limb. Referee just leaning against the table, not caring. Giving not a jot. And that was only a 2 count there. Referee took a while to get down, but sprung back up there like a cat to count that, to show everyone that it was a 2 count. Man in the front row against opposite the hard cam is rocking the Puerto Rican flag tank top, which is giving me serious Savio Vega vibes. And Tornado DDT countered and ribbed first into the top of that chair. Sabu still rubbing his head after that first chair shot and Arabian face buster there. The thing about Sabu was he always looked very old. I mean, I don't know if he was 60 when he passed. He would have been 38 at this point in time. He always looked about 50. He is the epitome. He's the epitome of having a tough paper round, but the man did it himself for the love of the game, and you've got to admire that. And I think that's what drew a lot of people as well. He's not. What's happening here? Chair in hand, Carlito on the table. Oh, that's it. That's a concussion. That is a concussion. That chair landed right on Carlito's face there. He's not moved. I can see he's breathing. That was not a pretty landing for either of those men. Yeah. Sabu was the epitome of the body as a weapon, and he was using it to the fullest potential. He put his body through stuff for our entertainment for all those years. Almost as bad as it may sound, almost his dying day. As I say, had that match in GCW a couple of weeks back, or 4 weeks back now. Yeah. Absolute legend of the game, and he is putting his body through hell for this one as well, in front of possibly, he would do it. There's potentially, if I'm looking at one of the shows, there's 3,500 people there. He would do it for 300 people. Did it for years in the ECW arena, in front of 3 figures. He would do it for you. It didn't matter if your crowd had 5 figures or 2. No. I don't know if that was an intentional box there, falling over the chair. But we're going back up for another Arabian face buster, but missed that one, and his hips have taken a hell of a beating in this one. Carly Colon trying to get the crowd behind him here. Very much a home crowd here. Oh, and another big chair shot. This time he did try and get the hands up. Less concussed. Oh, a big cartwheel. Oh, look at him go. If wrestling didn't work out, I certainly think he could represent somewhere in the Olympics. Are Puerto Rico in the Olympics? I know they've got obviously their special status within the US. Referee almost down there. Almost ref, but he did end up down. Oh, big bad body drop there. Big bad body drop. That was a backdrop more of a, as opposed to the trademark big body drop. Oh, who's this now? Oh! I don't think that chair shot was aimed for Sabu. It certainly wasn't, because he got a drop kick to the face. Whoever that chappie was. Sabu got one right in the face. What's happening here? Oh! That's a disgusting looking fall there. A disgusting looking landing there for Sabu. That's got to be it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, should I say. Carly Colon wins. And the fans, oh, the thingy, look at that, that's amazing. The fans are descending upon Carly Colon. I'll be getting claustrophobic here. But celebrating the hometown man's win. Which would narrow it down to either the 17th of May or the 31st of May. Oh no, it doesn't. Yes, it could do the 16th of May. At Decision Finale, Day 1, or the 31st, where he defeats him in Carolina, Puerto Rico, for the Universal title. It doesn't look as if he's got the belt, but he has got the admiration of all the fans and their ear horns as well. So yeah, that's a really cool thing that they're doing there. Obviously, no barriers separating the front row, and everyone can come down and celebrate with their hometown hero. Excellent stuff there. So that's match number 3 sorted. Carly Colon defeats Sabu, which looks to be I think that is possibly the 16th of May match there for Decision Finale. there. So he would go on to defeat, on the 31st of May, he would go on to defeat Sabu again for the Universal Heavyweight title. Sabu would stick around for a wee while, doing a tour of the island every now and again. So we now move on to our next match. On the playlist is another short interlude, Sabu's greatest moments from a WWE Top 10 from September of last year. We move on to the next match of the playlist, and it is a ladder match from the August 15th, 2006 episode of ECW on Sci-Fi. So this one is obviously from the ECW reboot that happened in June of this year, and was also meant to contain Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle left the company that week, obviously due to his ongoing issues that he had. He wanted to sort of have his time off, that turned into what would be a 10-year stint with TNA and Impact Wrestling. So we lost a triple threat ladder match, but we did get a ladder match between two ECW originals. This was for this would have been a number one contenders match to see who's going to face the Big Show at SummerSlam, I believe. We might hear more from that from Joey Styles and Taz, who's going to be on commentary. So enough from me about the background. We might get it through the commentary. We're on double zeros again. If you're watching this separately from the playlist, we're going to start it in 3, 2, 1, play. Here we go. Both men in the ring. Mickey J is the referee for this one. There's a chair in the ring already. So the latest the latest in the historic Sabu and Rob Van Dam feud, and that is, yes. So this is the Tuesday before SummerSlam. The Tuesday before SummerSlam, to get the number one contender to see who's going to face the Big Show at SummerSlam. Both of these shows have been covered by, speaking of the archives we've got here on YouTube and on Podbean. Placetobe.podbean.com is where you'll find the archives there. James Grooney and Steve Riddle go through ECW, a couple of weekly shows at a time, covering all the big shows as well, and the ECW involvement on those shows, on Extreme Resurrection every month here on the Place to Be Wrestling Network. So yes, placetobe.podbean.com and at PTBN YouTube, PTBN Wrestling on YouTube. So Rob Van Dam obviously was going to be the face of this brand until he had these, or both of these men had a drug bust, and Van Dam obviously was suspended. Don't know what he was going for there. Obviously trying to get the contract without the ladder. Oh, a big clothesline there, triple jump clothesline. Van Dam obviously came well, they couldn't suspend both of them. The two most prominent ECW originals on the brand. Van Dam got the brunt of the punishment because he was obviously the champion at the time, double champion at the time. He was WWE champion at the same time as well. And Sabu was kept on to be sort of the main ECW original, other than Sandman, of course, at this point in time. And Tommy Dreamer, but your other ECW originals, at this point where Al Snow was being used, just incredible. CM Punk, I believe, they just debuted, but he's not going to be put in a prominent position, and wasn't an ECW original either. ECW brand, obviously it was what it was. Eventually it's another one of these ones that was it bad because of what it was, or bad because of what it should have been or could have been. It was just, you put those three letters on something and on a programme and people are expecting a certain thing. That's not necessarily what they got a lot of the time. They did get it from time to time. That Rob Van Dam, oh my goodness, the springboard crossbody there into the ladder. So you have a ladder match, you have matches between these two guys, and this is more ECW. You have matches between the Sandman and a zombie. Not necessarily the same. And when you have to make the distinction of an Extreme Rules match, that's sort of also not ideal for something that's for branded ECW. Yeah. It's a branding issue more than anything else, I think. Vintage Rob Van Dam there with the leg drop against the barricade. Oh, nicely done there by Sabu, taking Van Dam out from the toes. And a big... Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to describe that. A camel clutch there on the ladder. Oh my goodness. Face first onto the ladder there. All sorts of disgusting there. I mean, an ECW ladder match between Rob Van Dam and Sabu on free TV. I mean, there was some good, but I mean, it's not the best ladder match I've ever seen in my life. But it's a ladder match on free TV between Sabu and Rob Van Dam on an ECW branded show. I mean, there's something in that, surely. And the chaos that it brings. I mean, Sabu is just chaos. Oh, that was always bound to happen there. That may have been one of those intentional botches that he was talking about, because that was never going to work out well. So the ladder propped up in the corner, and a very slow-paced Rob Van Dam as well. This is stinging. I don't think it's going to go down as one of the classics, but it's certainly a piece of history. That was inventive. That was up there with like Mick Foley suplexing the table. Rob Van Dam just monkey flipped a ladder right into Sabu's face. That's incredible. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. We're going to. Oh, I can see where that looks like. We're going to get a bit of rolling thunder onto a ladder now. Oh yes, that's exactly what's happening here. Oh my goodness! Van Dam misses the rolling thunder, back first onto the ladder there. That is not, I mean, no matter how you slice and dice that is not pretty. Big triple jump moonsault there, landing almost on the face of Van Dam as well. As Joey Styles says, wisely using the chair that time. Oh, disgusting. Oh, back of the knees, onto the ladder, Mr. Arabian face buster there. That is, I mean, come on. This is what I was saying before in the Carlito match. Body as a weapon. Oh my goodness. Body as a weapon, and you know, he just did not care the damage he was doing. Sabu had a run in ICW here as well for over the course of a couple of years. He would come in quite regularly. Never got the chance to see him, which was, oh my goodness, which was ladder to the face of Rob Van Dam. Yeah, never got the chance to see him live, which is, it's a very much missed opportunity, because the crowd in Glasgow would have absolutely given this man the flowers that he deserved. Big 5-star frog splash, went just as high vertically as he did horizontally. That was a big one. That was a big one. That was a 6-star frog splash. Contract at the ready. Rob Van Dam is heading up the ladder. Sabu is on the outside. What is going to happen here? Why are we? There's a young man there. Why are we watching him? Here comes a very, very big show. The very big show at this time. ECW World Champion. Oh my God! I didn't remember. I forgot there was a table set up. I didn't know there was a table set up there. And he just chucks him out. Big Show calling the same man who brought down the briefcase at King of the Ring 1999. Oh, Sabu going for the Hurricane Rana, not quite working out here. He's on his shoulders, he's got the contract. That is going to be it. That's a very, very inventive way to finish off a ladder match. Power bomb at the end for his troubles. But Sabu is your winner and your number 1 contender for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. That was very, very inventive way of finishing a ladder match, especially if you've got one involving the Big Show. He is quite a large chap. And I mean that, don't understand I was thinking, I don't understand getting chokeslammed on the back of on a contract, but the metal bit of the clipboard, that's bad. I mean that would do some damage. That would do some damage. This Big Show's not finished with Van Dam either. So is he going to stack them? Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 38-esque or 37-esque. Chokeslam on Van Dam. That is one very, very unhappy Big Show in front of camera and probably behind the camera as well. Not in his finest shape. It's actually not too bad at this point. It would get worse. But so that is the end of that one. So we will move on to our fifth and final match. Fifth and final match after that one. We will go back to the original ECW at this time, back a few years to 1998 and the Heatwave pay-per-view. So we've gone from the last match where we had Rob Van Dam and Sabu as opponents. We are now in the realm where they are tag team partners. They are the reigning ECW World Tag Team Champions, and they are going to take on the duo of Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki, or Hakushi for those of a new generation WWF disposition. This would be Hayabusa and Shinzaki's only appearance in ECW. They were regulars with FMW over the years, and they had actually been teaming up with in All Japan at this point in time as well. To the point where, according to Paul Heyman, this was originally get this, meant to be Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi as the All Japan Tag Team. Now, I always thought that this was going to be because it was the FMW relationship, but no, apparently this was an All Japan relationship. They end up getting 2 FMW regulars anyway. But imagine Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi in an ECW ring in 1998. That would have been something. So Heatwave 1998, one of if not the best regarded ECW pay-per-view from the originals, and probably from the reboot as well, other than maybe the one night stands. But we will start this one off. This is for the World Tag Team Championships. Rob Van Dam and Sabu versus Hayabusa and the artist formerly known as Hakushi. Shinzaki, at the time of writing his last match, obviously with Hayabusa had a career-ending neck injury, broken neck in 2001 that left him paralysed for the most part for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, passed away very recently as well. Jinsei Shinzaki, find that very difficult to say. His last match at the time of writing was for 0-1 a week ago with the new Hayabusa. So there is a new Hayabusa kicking about with the blessing of Hayabusa's family, carrying on that name and legacy. So Jinsei Shinzaki and Hayabusa still teaming up to this day in one form or another. There's the first whistle from Bill Alfonso as well. So bit of argument, bit of argy-bargy here, bit of argument between the World Tag Team Champions, arguing over who is the captain of the team here. So that's a threatening jumping jack there from Rob Van Dam. Somebody's got to start. And it's going to be Rob Van Dam and Hayabusa kicking stuff off here. For the good people of, I believe, Dayton, Ohio. Yes, it is the Hara Arena in Dayton, Ohio. Almost 4,500 people there for this one. Is this the same arena? I don't think it is as King of the Ring 1995. It is not, but it's the same arena as Great American Bash 1995. There you go. The more you know. Great American Bash 1995 and ECW Hardcore Heatwave 1998. So there you go. It would also be the home of the 9th episode of Monday Nitro later on in the year, headlined by Let's Look at Men against the American Males. Sabu was on that card as well as it would happen, defeating Disco Inferno in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. I'd be very disappointed if Sabu lost to the Disco Inferno. So here we go. Van Dam and Hayabusa kicking off with some, again, much like the Eliminators tag match, we're getting some actual proper wrestling. So as we say, this is, or as I said, this is possibly ECW's. Is this the peak of ECW? Maybe mid 1998. I mean, if we look at the rest of the card, if we look at the rest of the card here, just incredible. Jerry Lynn opens up. Then you've got Candido against Storm. Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome talking of FMW as the match immediately preceding this. Then you've got a Falls Count Anywhere match between Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow. Your main event, Spike Dudley, the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer taking on the Dudleys, Big Dick, Bubba Ray and Devon. I mean, this could be is this the peak of ECW? Let us know and give feedback. Again, if you're on YouTube, you can give feedback in the comment section below. And if it's not the peak of ECW, what do you consider the peak of ECW? That's maybe a good way to follow that one up. Referee in this one looks like Ricky Starks. Just to point that one out there. this show, I mean, cage match, not the be-all and end-all, but the cage match does have this as a 9.01 with 42 perfect 10s. Bolstering that one. It's okay for the occasional one, but I can't imagine watching a lot of ECW shows back to back to back like the guys do for Extreme Resurrection over on the No Soul feed. Using Bill Alfonso's whistle. Like you must hear that after watching ECW back to back to back. You must hear that in your nightmares. As Shinzaki comes in now. Hell of a look does Shinzaki have here. It's always been. I remember seeing it. For my first exposure to it was when I bought the Legendary Tagged Classics DVDs. In Your House 1 and 2 obviously took on Bret Hart, an excellent match at In Your House 1 or 2. It was In Your House 1. Big kick there to the face, but a hell of a look. Just nothing like it before or since. Van Dam taking his thing, taking his flowers from the crowd. Big enziguri there from Shinzaki right to the back of the head. So for the most part, up until this point, oh, look at that. I mean, that's just taking the Undertaker to the extreme there. That was new school there from Shinzaki. That's one to maybe, if it pops up on the Vault. The Undertaker against Jinsei Shinzaki from, was it 1994? They toured with. Was it War they had the agreement with? There was a match in Osaka anyway. Up between was it Michinoku Pro in 1997? They had that's one to try and find. I wonder if that works out for, if that's part of the. I doubt it, but I wonder if that's part of the Vault. Sabu now, and big roar from the crowd. So Shinzaki at this point has been primarily in Michinoku Pro for the most part of the year. He doesn't end up in All Japan till closer to the end of the year, by the looks of things. Obviously did his shots in FMW at the start of the year as well, teaming with Hayabusa in 1998. I'm just going to look here as we get another chin look. Good time to have a wee look at this. Mainly teaming with Shinzaki was Hayabusa in FMW. Again, it doesn't actually have the matches with All Japan until later on in the year as well, probably into 1999 actually. But yeah, a mainstay of FMW in Japan. So Hayabusa and Sabu. Now here we go. This chaos is about to ensue here. Really impressed there. We've already seen that defeat Scott Taylor in the first match. Very strange. Again, very strange to see Sabu go for headlocks and Shane Douglas telling us there that not the style you expect generally to see from Sabu there. Oh, and there's a drop saw, shades of Paul London. I think it's more Paul London, shades of Hayabusa. The drop saw was always a hell of a sight to see. I don't think there's much, better than a beautifully executed drop kick. Simple but effective, but a drop kick when it's done well is fantastic.
That's what I just wrote down here. The World Tag Team Champions are in trouble. This team from Japan certainly has Sabu and Van Dam scouted very well.
We go trading hands in the middle of the ring here. Again, not a style you would. There's the drop kick to the ankle there. Drop kick to the knee. That bloody whistle.
Pulling forward on the left shin of Hayabusa. Trying to cut off the supply of blood to that foot. It's like bending a garden hose. The water can't get through. What a
So,
great intelligent
I've never, as much as I've, the Heatwave 98 is very well regarded, I've never actually seen the show. It's the first time seeing this match myself. Not what I quite expected, but then I didn't expect this sort of style from the start of the Eliminators match either. So yes. So Joey Styles doing very well here, telling you about the history of Hayabusa. This is where you need a Professor Mike Tenay to help us along here.
That's why Sabu's keeping away from the ropes and turnbuckles. Snapmare takeover.
I suppose this is the psychologically, this is what you're doing. This is what you need to do with Hayabusa. Keep him on the ground. Keep him off keep him away from the, as Shane Douglas said, keep him away from the turnbuckles and the ropes.
Until tonight, we've considered Sabu and Van Dam to be nothing more than reckless abandon as tag team champions. But tonight, they're proving to be very organized strategists.
That was a very, very unnecessary flip there into the drop kick, but never mind. And there's a springboard drop kick from Shinzaki right to Van Dam's back. That was it. And here we go. Is this going to descend into chaos? Hopefully now. Here we go. Drop kick into both champions. And the Asai moonsault, beautifully executed.
Shinzaki and Hayabusa are exposing weaknesses that I have not yet seen in Van Dam and Sabu.
Here we go. Big dive into the crowd. This is what we came to see.
We've got wrestlers slowly spilling back into the ring. Hayabusa hung out to dry.
Here we go. Oh, there's the barricade leg drop from Rob Van Dam.
Van Dam trying to decapitate Hayabusa.
Shinzaki and Sabu in the ring now.
Got a slugfest between
Trading hand once again in the middle of the ring.
Shinzaki getting the better of it.
Another drop kick.
Drop kick right to the left knee of Shinzaki.
Drop kick low.
Every time Sabu gets in trouble, he drop kicks the knee.
Sabu trying to get the crowd into it. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was calling for a chair, which Fonzie,
Toss of the chair a little short by Alfonso.
yeah, Fonzie completely misses. He needs Steve Austin's beer throw arm. Oh, there you go. Chair shot to the very from the surfboard. No, and get out of the ring, Alfonso.
2 3/4. Hayabusa makes the save. Sabu again thrown to the outside.
Oh, big kick to the midsection here. Here we go.
Irish whip. Airside gets to the midsection of Van Dam.
Double bulldog.
Van Dam face
Very smooth teamwork from Hayabusa and Shinzaki. You can tell these two have done this before. Oh, big springboard sent on. And then a knee. Van Dam is taken as absolute. There are lion salt. Van Dam is taking a licking here. This is now getting to what I thought it was going to be from the get-go. Oh, and there's another poetry in motion. Shades of the Hardy Boys. Before their time. Oh, Jesus. That was a spin kick right to the jaw. He does, say. I agree, franchise. He goes, you can either get out of the way or you're just taking it right to the face and you will feel pain. Oh, you big German! Yeah. Yeah, so this is, so they keep mentioning this is the trouble that the biggest trouble that the tag team champions have been in. So this was during their first reign. They did have another reign later on. But they've had matches since they won it. They've had matches with Candido and Storm. Well, they beat Candido and Storm. Then they've gone between Axel Rotten and Balls and Candido and Storm again. They also had a match with the FBI. But this is thingy. They were on live events. This is their first televised defence. Unless any of those ones were ended up on hardcore TV at some point. Oh, belly kick. Or what would be the Pele kick after AJ Styles started doing it. I think he was Don West that originally did the Pele kick. If he didn't, I'm just giving him the credit for it because Don West was a legend. What's getting concocted here? Oh, nasty powerbomb. 450, beautiful 450. Oh. That was an absolutely stunning 450 splash. Hayabusa there. Rolling Thunder leg drop combo. This is excellent. And saying that, Sabu and Rob Van Dam have got excellent chemistry as a team as well. This is really picking up the pace here. This has turned into... It was a bit of a slow start, not what I was expecting, but it has picked up the pace big time here. Boston Crab and a leg drop. Oh, he just landed ass first. Oh, he just sat right on the back of Shinzaki's head.
Shinzaki not only kicked out, he smashed Sabu in the ribs.
Oh my god, he landed arse first right in the back of his head. That's a concussion. That's our second concussion of the podcast. Yeah. There you go, Joey. I'll keep you right. Joey Styles just saying exactly what I've said there. Whole body weight, 200 odd pounds. Table now in the ring here. Oh, Sabu went for the drop kick again. Drop kick to the knee again. Oh my god! What a... My god! I don't know if that was a punch or slap or whatnot, but it was disgusting. From Hayabusa right onto Sabu there. Big shoulder block. The ref is just sat on the top rope there, wisely getting out of the way. This may have been this match is an unintentional ref bump waiting to happen. This is a Tim Whitehill Judgment Day 2002 level of danger for referees here. Big dragon screw.
What that will do is blow the medial collateral ligament in the knee.
Hayabusa backs Sabu into the corner.
This is turned. This is unbelievable. This is just turned. This was quite a slow start. This is. The Van Terminator. Oh, Van Terminator's coast to coast. Well, it probably would be. That was coast to coast.
Shinzaki is neutralizing Van Dam. It's going to turn out to be Hayabusa and Shinzaki against Sabu. Great strategy.
This table not complying. That very much didn't comply. However, a broken table leg there. I think Sabu has got himself of everything that's happened, he's given himself a thingy. He's given himself a splinter. Excellent. After all that, and the table's fucked. The table is well and truly got gubbed now. Did not comply. The opposite of a Japanese table from Botchamania. Frog splash. It was a 0-star frog splash. I think it was just a case of don't quite know what was happening there. Nice bit of improvisation. Here comes another table. The crowd are all over this now. More tables. All the tables coming out now. This is what the crowd are loving. Michinoku driver broken up by an Arabian face buster. This is descending into pure chaos now. Van Daminator. Oh, this is just everything is so smooth. It's how can chaos be so smooth? Like this is just this should not be as smoothly moving as it is. This is ridiculous. Both are on the table. I've seen this spot here. This is the spot where Van Dam almost loses an eye. Oh my god. Or was it the spot he almost loses an eye? I'm sure there's something where a spot where a table breaks the wrong way and Van Dam almost loses an eye. Sabu moving Van Dam out of the way and he gets the 3 count. Oh my goodness. He moves Van Dam out of the way to get the pin himself, but my god, what a match that turned out to be. Mr. Monday Night, the whole damn show, the whole effing show. The homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu. What a team, what a match that was. That was just... As soon as it descended away from regular tag team match, it was just, it turned into excellence. Controlled, but not controlled. You know, butter smooth chaos. Unbelievable. If that match doesn't highlight what ECW was about and what Sabu was all about, then yeah, I mean, there's other great Sabu matches you can watch. There's the battle he had in 1994 with Cactus Jack are ones that come to mind. I think it was Heatwave 94 and Hostile City Showdown as well. They were on a Mick Foley DVD. Find them. I mean, there's loads. There's, if you want, there is the match with Terry Funk from Born to Be Wired. There's the match with Taz at Barely Legal. I mean, there's so much from Sabu that you could cover to get everything. But that one was Sabu personified and ECW personified. So rest in peace, Sabu. You were a legend. You will be missed, but you'll forever be remembered as the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, absolute legend of this industry, that we all know and love, that is professional wrestling. So thank you all for listening to this episode of From the Vault. A bit more somber one, not certainly the reason we want to be doing From the Vault episodes, but I feel like it would a man of Sabu's stature needed recognition in some way, shape or form, and hopefully that was a nice, if you've watched along with us, you're covering the gamut of his career and everything that Sabu was about. There's loads more that you can find, as I said, but thank you all very much for watching along and listening along. It is greatly appreciated. From myself and from everything else at PTB Wrestling, I am Ben Locke's co-host / permanent guest on Wrestling's Chicken Salad. The last episode that we had was episode 51. No, it wasn't. It was episode 52, where we covered Judgment Day 2002. Next one coming up is the anniversary show, which we get to pick a good show, so you'll hear what that is whenever that drops. Obviously from the Vault here in the archives. I'm also the proprietor of the YouTube pages for 3 of the 4 arms of the quad of pods. As I say, we've got this one, youtube.com/@PTB Wrestling for everything from the Place to Be Wrestling Network. We're up to date with that one, so it's just all new current shows that are on, but we do have literally hundreds, close to thousands of archive podcasts, so it'll cover anything and everything that you could potentially want. So go on to placetobe.podbean.com or the list of playlists that we've got on the YouTube page, and you should hopefully, I'm almost guaranteeing that you'll find something that will be up your alley. We've also got the Place to Be Pop Experience, which Andy and Miranda look after. We're going through the archives of those particular podcasts as we speak. So 3 podcasts a day from the archives will drop on there. Just now we have got Matt Souza's Piece of the Action dropping. We've got the Long Running Hard Travelling Fanboys for any comic book fans out there, and we have also got Pop Goes to the Couch, which was a show looking at the series that would be dropping on Disney Plus back in and all the streaming services back in the day. So that one's currently on hiatus, but we've got the archives coming up, and it's going through Cobra Kai Season 3 WandaVision and from things from around that time. And there's back to the wrestling side of things. Backbone Wrestling, at Backbone Wrestling on YouTube, is the Backbone Wrestling Network's podcast that Sean, Logan, Matt, Schiff and Keithy do across the hall. I do apologise. Logan is not Logan. Jake's also involved in that. Sorry for missing out Jake there. So that's up to date as well. So new stuff dropping almost every day, every other day. There is loads of stuff dropping from the Backbone Wrestling Network as well. So follow all those pages, or subscribe to all those pages on YouTube, and if you are using a podcatcher app, find them on all those ones as well. But I will stop rambling on at this point in time. Once again, thank you all very much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode, and there's one more person we need to thank. Thank you very much for everything you did for this industry. Thank you, Sabu.